Hello. In this mini course, what you are going to learn are the basics of building permits. My studio Terra Projects has put $3 million worth of design and permit prep into the construction, and that construction's been put into the ground in California. What that has done is it's forced $200,000 of appreciation for our patrons. On top of that, we've done over 80 building permits for our patrons. About 35% of that, of those permits are short-term rental permits. And with those short-term rental permits, every single year, collectively, our patrons make $1.2 million. This is some of the work that we've done. My name's David Irwin, and I'm the founder of Terra Projects. Welcome to this course. What is a building permit? I'm going to tell you a little bit about that before we get into the meat and these other modules for the course. A building permit, it is something that's been around for thousands of years, ever since the Code of Hammurabi, which I'm sure you've heard about. In that, they talk about if a building collapses, you have to, it was something like you give up your goat and your eldest son or something like that. Which at that time, that's very important, right? That's the livelihood for your entire family, right? After the head of the family, if something were to happen to them in war, you're giving up that person and you're giving up a goat. So that is some of the oldest sort of building codes. It's sort of a negotiation. And it's the same today. Though you're not giving up your children and animals, you are making certain compromises, one can say. But it's so commonplace it doesn't even feel like a compromise. What do I mean by that? Something as simple as the way a building is tied down to its foundation, that is what it is, right? Perhaps the compromise, if anything, is you have to pay a certain amount of money to have people design it in such a way that it's going to be safe. So that brings me to the two pillars of all building codes internationally. The first pillar is life safety. So what the municipality is really looking for is to ensure that people are going to be safe, nobody is going to be hurt. Do you have the right engineering calcs? Great. Okay. Is this thing sited in the correct area? Great. Okay. Good. We're good. Okay. It's not going to be in the middle of the water with this low point on the land, and it's not going to kill somebody. Right. So it's life safety, and then it's also the development. So the development part, which is kind of tied into life safety if you build in a dangerous place, right? But that's also for future generations, right? Things like setbacks and things like that. When a parcel is developed, it's got to be done in a very particular way. And there's things called variances and ways you can change the code. But roughly speaking, it's got to be done in the same way, so that whether it be you or your kids or the next person that buys your property, there's a predictable understanding to the way in which a property will be developed, right? So again, that's the second pillar, and then the first pillar is life safety. Now, I myself, our studio is based in California, happens to be in Joshua Tree. San Bernardino is our county. So I'll be talking about my interactions with San Bernardino. And when you hear that, I want you to also listen for that could be applied to any municipality, perhaps in the world. The International Building Code, the IBC, is what all building codes are based on. Now, there are some countries that don't really adopt it much. Places like Mexico, for instance, or they don't adopt portions of it. I know in Mexico, the way that you can do railings, there's not many railings there for large drop-offs. So they're a little looser there. But they might be just as tight in areas, for structural integrity, when you're designing a column, the amount of hardware that needs to be in there, etc. It depends on where you are in the world with how stringent the code is going to be. But the International Building Code is a blanket that we can really point to. And if you're watching this video from Joshua Tree, or you're watching this video, say from the countryside in France, I hope that you can get value out of this, and that's my goal with this mini course that you're about to watch. So the last thing I'll say with the overview is building codes are important. Building codes are important because it is part of the barrier to manifest things in the world. Part of manifesting a built building in the physical, corporeal environment is to go through one of these bits that are gatekeepers, right? There's the building code, the building department. So I invite you to make friends with them and I enjoy you being here, and I look forward to you checking out the rest of the videos for this course. Have a great day.